Oi.
Hey guys, so my neighbor invited me to come here to KENN3DY, which is this little island. It's super close to my house. I actually go here quite a bit at night, just ride on my bike, and I don't know, it's a nice place to visit. This last year they've really added on to it. Like before, it had there was no sidewalks in these little roads, just a bunch of rocks and fishermen, nets and stuff like that. So I'd come out here and it's kind of just like a fishing area. Like they would drag in the nets, and there was some old boats here. I mean, none of the big ships, kind of something they would maybe row by hand, or some really old stuff. But they've kind of redone the area since the president was coming, hooray. And now it's nice. There's a lot of people that come here and just walk around and check out the scenery. I mean, it's always had a great view of the city, especially at night when you got a full moon and the stars are out. This is a really beautiful area. I don't know how long it takes for me to get here, probably like a minute. Just hop on my bike and go. It doesn't take long. Or walk here. I don't know. You can see from where my house is about how far away it is. Something I wanted to tell you guys about that Chinese people don't talk about, and something you're definitely not going to hear about on the news, is like terrorist attacks and, you know, some bombings. You hear about the bombings and the shootings lately all over the world. You know, try to get out of the wind here. You know, all these terrible things happening. I mean, you've got like ISIS and these radical Muslim groups, all this terrible stuff going on. And here in China, you don't ever hear about anything like that happening within China. And I'm always talking to my Chinese friends about politics and religion and the things that you're not really supposed to talk about. Well, I mean, it's okay to talk about it. It's just not something that people always share their true feelings about. This country is not a religious country. You don't have the religious freedoms you have everywhere else. For example, if you want to start a church, if you start a church and the government doesn't like it, or you don't have the proper license to start a church, they can tear the church down for no reason whatsoever. Other than, I mean, you don't have the license to do it, so they'll tear it down. The Chinese Catholic Church, they've actually rewritten parts of the Bible to fit into the Chinese, pretty much the Chinese communist propaganda that they're feeding people. They've rewritten some words in the Bible to fit up to that. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I wanted to talk about these terrorist attacks. Because over the past 6 months or so, this is going to be loud, let's go this way. Over the past 6 months or so, I've told you guys, I went to 6 different countries, counting here in China, in the past 6 months. And every time I went on one of these flights, I always stop in Guangzhou Airport. It's a pretty big airport. I'm super familiar with it, right? I don't know, I've probably flown into that airport 10 times. And I've never heard of any terrorist attack or bombings, anything like that on the news here in China. If anything, you might hear about a suicide. There are some bad things you hear about occasionally, but it's usually not something that pops up on the news. Well, when I was on my last trip with my cousin Kip, we went to Thailand, and we were coming back. I met this guy from Venezuela. He's been here in China for, I think he said 8 or 9 years. Spoke awesome Chinese, super nice guy. And we were talking about some government stuff, like everything happening in Venezuela and in China. And he said, yeah, there's a lot of terrorist attacks here. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I haven't heard about this before. So this is just the story he told me. You can believe it or not. But yeah, what he said is his buddy, I guess this was 2017, I believe that's what he said, 2 years ago. He was telling me that his buddy was in Guangzhou and they were about to take off to go somewhere. And you know, in the airplane, you know, they keep all the luggage and stuff in a separate compartment than where they keep everything else. You know, like they're going to keep the passengers you're not sitting right next to your luggage. You know what I mean? The big luggage goes underneath. Well, they were on the tarmac about to take off, and a bomb went off on this plane and blew out the bottom. It's windy here. And completely blew out the bottom of this airplane. So instantly people are freaking out, and they're terrified. A bomb went off on a plane that you're in. So the first thing they're going to do is they're getting out their phones. They're trying to call people, take pictures, and all this stuff. Almost immediately when this happened, all of the signal was shut off. So no one had signal. They couldn't send any messages or anything. And he told me what happened before they even got off of the plane, got out of this plane. There were police officers completely surrounding the area. They could not send any messages, of course. And every single person that was getting off this plane, the police took them, took their cell phones, deleted every picture they took of the damage on the plane, any video, any proof that this had happened. They removed from their phones, and they went all back into the airport. I'm not sure if this was a place where people from the actual airport could get good pictures from the tarmac. The way he talked about it was like everyone in the area lost service. I'm guessing they shut down a tower so no one could send messages. And they cleared everything out, deleted every picture, everything from it. And I'm assuming they found the person that put the bomb in the airplane. But this was not talked about at all. Doesn't come up in the news. No one knows about it. The only way I know about it is word of mouth. Now, of course, someone could make this up. But the things I've seen here, which, like, there's cameras around here, and like the trees, you know, they're everywhere. The control the government has over the people, over your phone. I mean, you can send messages, everything's censored. It's censored to the extreme. Yeah, I can still get on Facebook because I have a VPN. A lot of the companies that you're spending money for this VPN, a lot of these companies are owned by the Chinese government. They know everything you're doing here. So do I believe this happened? I don't know. I kind of do. Yeah, I kind of think it's very possible. Did it happen? I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. But yeah, I definitely think it's possible. I think there could be terrorist attacks here in China, and people have no idea about it. They don't know about it. Anything negative or something that could scare the people is not going to be on the news. So, I don't know. That's just something I wanted to mention to you guys. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. I'll show you a couple shots here of the island. Walking around. It's not quite as windy over here on this side, but yeah, you can kind of see all the stuff behind me. Really, really pretty area. Normally it's not busy, but there's like a 5-day vacation here, so for the next 5 days I've got nothing to do, no Chinese classes. If I were to work, I wouldn't work at this time. So I'm probably just going to chill out a little bit. The gym's not closed, which is surprising. Hit the gym every day. And if there's any questions you guys have about anything going on in Qingdao, you can let me know and I'll make a video. I've got some time this week, so hey, Chance Rogers, you're my only fan. Hey, these are the boats I was talking about that used to be here all over the place. Those right there. Before they like remodeled this island. Yeah, those are everywhere. That was like the only boats that were here. Now it's super nice. Hey, Papa, remember I took him out here and they hadn't done any of this before. So it's like I was taking him a walk. It is like an unheard of secret place. Well, not really secret, but it was my secret place. Anyway, I think that's about all I wanted to say. And hi everyone back home. I miss you, love you, and I may be moving back this year. We'll see what happens. Adios, amigos.